In the quiet, remote village of Kilima, nestled among the rolling hills of Tanzania, lived a young girl named Amoni. The name, meaning peace, was a cruel irony, for Amoni's life was anything but peaceful. Orphan at the tender age of 6, she was taken in by her stepmother, an embittered woman named Monesha, who treated her with harshness and disdain. Amoni's days were filled with endless chores, fetching water from the distant river, gathering firewood from the forest, and cooking meals she was seldom allowed to eat. Her nights were spent in a cold, dark corner of the hut, her thin frame huddled under a threadbare blanket. The other children in the village, warned by their parents to stay away from the unlucky orphan, avoided her, leaving Amoni isolated and alone. Despite her hardships, Amoni possessed a gentle spirit and a quiet strength. She found solace in the beauty of nature, the rustling leaves of the trees, the chirping of birds at dawn, and the stars that glittered in the night sky. But most of all, she found comfort in her dreams, where her late mother's soothing voice would whisper words of encouragement, telling her to be strong, to have faith, and that her suffering would one day end. One fateful day, as Amoni was walking back from the river with a heavy pot of water balanced on her head, she stumbled and fell. The pot shattered, and water spilled everywhere. Trembling with fear, she knew the punishment that awaited her. But before she could gather the broken pieces, an elderly woman with kind eyes and a gentle smile appeared from the trees. This was Mama Nia, the village healer, known far and wide for her knowledge of herbs and her ability to cure the sick. "Child, don't cry," Mama Nia said softly, helping Amoni to her feet. "Come with me. We'll fix this." Amoni, too frightened to refuse, followed Mama Nia to her small hut on the edge of the village. The healer's home was a modest but warm place, filled with the fragrant scent of dried herbs hanging from the ceiling and the soft glow of a fire burning in the hearth. Mama Nia gave Amoni a cup of warm tea and tended to the scratches on her hands and knees. As she walked, Mama Nia began to speak in a low, soothing voice, telling Amoni stories of the village's past, of the people she had healed, and of the herbs that could cure almost any ailment. Amoni listened intently, her fear slowly melting away in the warmth of the healer's presence. From that day on, Amoni visited Mama Nia whenever she could. The old woman taught her the secrets of the plants that grew in the surrounding hills, how to prepare medicines, and how to listen to the body's whispers of pain and illness. Amoni absorbed everything like a sponge, her natural intelligence and keen observation making her a quick learner. But life at home grew even harsher. Monesha, noticing Amoni's growing absence, became suspicious and more cruel. She began assigning Amoni impossible tasks, hoping to break the girl's spirit. Yet, every time Amoni returned from Mama Nia's hut, she was a little stronger, a little more resilient. One day, a terrible illness swept through the village, claiming the lives of the weak and elderly. Monesha fell gravely ill, too, her body racked with fever and pain. Despite all the years of mistreatment, Amoni felt a pang of sorrow for the woman who had taken her in, however cruel she had been. She hurried to Mama Nia's hut, only to find the healer sitting on her mat, her usually bright eyes filled with sorrow. "The sickness is beyond my skills, Amoni," Mama Nia said, her voice trembling. "But you, my child, have a gift. You have learned well, and now it is your turn to heal." Fear clutched at Amoni's heart, but she nodded. Mama Nia handed her a small pouch filled with herbs and whispered instructions. "Trust in yourself, Amoni. You have the power to save her." With shaking hands, Amoni returned to her stepmother's side and prepared the medicine as Mama Nia had taught her. She stayed up all night, feeding Monesha the bitter concoction, cooling her fevered brow with damp cloths, and whispering words of encouragement. As dawn broke, Monesha's fever began to subside. Her breathing steadied, and the color slowly returned to her cheeks. Amoni had done it, she had saved her stepmother's life. Word of Amoni's skill spread through the village like wildfire. People who had once shunned her now came to her for help. With Mama Nia's guidance, Amoni continued to heal the sick, her reputation growing with each life she saved. But it wasn't just her knowledge of herbs that made her special, it was her compassion, her ability to see past people's flaws and heal not just their bodies, but their hearts as well. Years passed, and Amoni grew into a respected healer, much like Mama Nia before her. She transformed her stepmother's cold, dark hut into a place of warmth and healing, where all were welcome, no matter their past. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Mama Nia called Amoni to her side. The old woman was frail now, her life nearing its end. With a trembling hand, she took Amoni's and smiled. "You were always meant for this, my child," she said softly. "Your pain has given you the strength to heal others. Remember, the greatest medicine is love." With those words, Mama Nia closed her eyes for the last time, leaving Amoni to carry on her legacy. In the years that followed, Amoni continued to heal, her heart full of the love and wisdom passed down to her. And though she had started her life in sorrow and loneliness, she found that through helping others, she had built a family of her own, a family bound not by blood, but by the bonds of kindness, compassion, and healing. The end.